Hi, everyone. I need help because I have a new microphone and I'm hoping you can hear me. So if you can hear me, say so in the chat so that I know you can hear me. Yes. Okay. How does it sound? Is it better? Because we were getting requests to have it sound better. So I got myself a new mic. Yay. Okay. So I got a brand new mic to celebrate the voice box. Good. Oh, good. Hi, Heather. Hi, Elaine. Hi, everybody. Hi. We have such a fun night tonight. Oh my God, the brothers Karen are joining us in just a few minutes, and I am so excited to get to introduce you to people I love very much, who are very close personal friends, and they are going to really blow your minds. I have to say that they are pretty spectacular as humans and artists and singers and teachers and fathers, and they have beautiful wives that are artistic and exquisite, and they're just pretty all around amazing. So I'm really excited that this month's box host, the brothers Karen, Torald, and Isaac, will be here today with us. So I want to open the circle and we will get a chance to chat and do everything. Once the boys are on, we will do our tea ceremony. But I wanted to open the circle today by thanking each and every one of you for helping make Magic Hour magic. We are here because you have basically inspired me and our whole team to bring you the world's most interesting teas and to continue to formulate for you. And you're my muses, and I create because of you and I create for you. It wells up inside of me, and then I think about you all, and I'm able to be so inspired to create new products for you. And I have to say, the chakra teas are a blast and they're amazing, and the formulas are all done and they're ready to go. And we'll be packing them at the first of each month to send them out to you all fresh. This month or this week, we also have our Earl Greys. So any of you that are Earl Grey fans that didn't necessarily want the raspberry Earl Grey all the time, I did the Earl Grey recipe. I am so excited about it. Ashley and I formulated it and made it amazing. It's based on my old Zena's Gypsy Tea recipe, which won Best Earl Grey in the nation with Real Simple magazine, as well as Dr. Oz posted it was his favorite Earl Grey. It was in Oprah magazine. So I was able to create that, recreate that, but make it even better for you. So Earl Grey is on the site. And then we also did a vanilla Earl. Oh my God, the vanilla Earl is everything. So it's basically Earl Grey with vanilla. And in my world, if you just add vanilla to something, everything is just better. Everything makes sense. Everything is easier. Vanilla makes the world a better place. Absolutely. And so those are on the site as of this week, as well as butterfly pea flower. A lot of you have been asking and requesting the bright blue flowers on their own. And so those are on the site as well. So you can add those to any tea you want. And if you're adding them to teas that are that brew brown, like the Bohemian Breakfast or even an Earl Grey or Grey, just know that the blue won't come out the way they do with white teas and green teas and lighter floral teas. So those blue flowers are on the site and they're just for you. And so I hear you, I hear your requests, and I create for you. So keep the requests coming. I am working on about 25 new blends right now. So any jars that you guys don't love the tea, you'll be able to refill with a new favorite soon and slap a new label on there and make it all work. Okay, so let us open the circle and let's start with whoever's new. Who is new and where are you calling in from? Hi, Anita. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Julie. Julie's having mantra mint. Oh, Julia, thank you. You're amazing too. We're all a reflection of each other. And today is International Women's Day. We have come so far in the last, since there was a story from the Mayans that the world is goes into balance, right? So 5,000 years of male rule released on in 1984, and now we'll have 5,000 years of female rule. And so if you look at where we've come since 1984, we've got a female vice president, a speaker of the House. No matter where you stand on politics, it's good for all of us. Where we're balanced with the feminine and the masculine, we are in balance. We have each of them inside of ourselves. There's a polarity. So if our masculine's too strong, we go out of whack. If our feminine is too strong, we go out of whack. And so balancing and creating that incredible harmonization of the male and female energies on planet Earth is really job number one. And we can only do that by nurturing ourselves. And so, oh, Gail's first tea ceremony, and she's from East Falmouth, Massachusetts. So lovely to have you here. Yes, quintessence is quite lovely. Anna is asking, Anna Santana, what a great name. What is a good tea to start with? Okay, my two, if I was stuck on a desert island and could only pick two, it would be Bohemian Breakfast, Ceremonial Matcha, and Lucid Dreams. Okay, that was three. So those are my three. If I could only have three, those are them. Those are the ones. But it's really hard because I change my my habits every day. Oh, Debbie from Riverbank, California. Welcome, sweetheart. Welcome. I'm so glad you could join us on our circle tonight. Okay, so as we are, oh, Janae from Long Beach, so nice to have you. Oh, Mary from Sarah, having coconut chai in Florida, her first tea ceremony. Welcome. So the mission behind the Magic Hour Mystic Mondays is to really bring together a circle of sisters and brothers to form connection and to form community around the simple service of tea ceremony. And we serve tea mindfully to ourselves in order to expand time and the infinite. We serve it to others to nurture and nourish and to show that we care and that we love. Tea is a very simple connector. It is not divisive. And whether or not you are a tea or coffee person, you can always have a cup of tea. You can also use tea to improve your health along the way. Tea for sleep, tea for beauty, tea for digestion, tea for weight loss, tea for relaxation, tea for mood. There's teas for everything. And our upcoming cleanse, April 22nd, we're going to go deep into the when to drink the tea, what times a day, what teas to drink, and all of that good stuff. And for those of you who have been through one of our cleanses, they are awesome. We have a blast together. We do tea ceremony twice a day. I make funny workout videos, and this one's going to be really, really cool. It's going to be in celebration of Mother Earth. It's called the Earth Magic Cleanse, and it will be starting on April 22nd. So take a look at that on the website if you want to join. I would absolutely adore having you. Okay, so we have a couple questions until the guys get here, but first let me open our tea ceremony. Okay, so I open our circle and our tea ceremony to create a sacred space for each of us to feel safe, to feel connected, to feel that we belong, we are heard, we are felt, we are seen, and we are elevated, we are amplified, we are inspired. We are whole as individuals and stronger and even more whole together. We are bridge builders, we are forest planters, we are nurturers, we are friends, we are mothers and sisters and brothers, and all of the sacred relationships that we carry in our hearts are only expanded and strengthened through tea ceremony and through having a cup of tea together. So I am about to get my cup going, and I'm going to have not epiphany. I'll be up all night. I'm going to have quintessence since the guys are coming. So this is my tea ceremony area. So you can see my little table. And when the guys get here, we're going to do tea ceremony. Okay. So this is quintessence. For those of you who don't have it yet or aren't monthly members, it is a lemongrass, ginger, vanilla, milk, or not milk thistle. That's next month. Ooh, did I give that away? Marshmallow root. It soothes and green tea. It soothes the entire esophagus, and it soothes the lining of not only the throat and the mucosal all the mucus membranes and everything, but all the way down through all your intestinal tract, everything all the way through to your colon. So this is a soother. It helps with throat health. It helps with the gut health. It helps with the lining of your esophagus. For any of you who have tummy issues or anything like that, it has all of that. It also has honey, organic honey ginger crystals. So it's got a little bit of spice in it, but that spice is coated with honey, raw honey, that actually helps to soothe and clear the mucosal membrane. And so I'm going to put a little bit of that in my tea in hand, and these are going to be back in stock this week or next week. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit in there. And this one is so soothing and so healthy for your throat, that you'll feel it starting to coat your throat. And you can even see how it turns like a creamy white. And that's that fatty marshmallow root feeling. It's like marshmallows, and marshmallows are creamy and lovely. Okay, so let's see. Thomas, the boys can't find the link. Can you resend it to them? They are trying to join us now. So if Thomas could resend the link to the guys, that would be awesome. Okay, I will let my tea steep for just a second. And normally you can let it steep for 5 to 10 minutes. If you want the most spice, you can also steep it more than once. So I will probably steep this once for 2 to 3 minutes and then steep it again. Karen, I'm so glad you ordered the vanilla Earl Grey. It's really kind of my son and my husband and everybody's fighting over it because I only had a little batch that I blended. So gonna steep that and pour. As I pour this tea, I fill each of your cups with the goodness that you are. May it be reflected back to you tenfold, thousandfold. Okay. And we will just wait for the guys to come, and then we will do our actual tea ceremony. What kettle do I recommend? Okay, we just got some in stock, Anna. So just wait a day or two, because the kettle I recommend is coming onto our website. We've been using the Kasori, but the handle fell off of mine. I don't know if any of you guys are having any luck with that one. And they also don't wholesale. So it was hard for us to get them and put them on our website. So what we have done is we found one, but I think it's only in Celsius. So I'm trying to figure that out right now, but I love it.
There we are.
How are you guys?
Hi, can you hear
Turn your sound on. I can't hear you.
You should be able to hear
you there?
now.
Oh, hold on.
You should be able to hear it.
Oh, you can hear them? How come I can't hear you guys? Okay, I'm going to mute you and unmute you. There. Okay, unmute yourselves. Sorry, it might be my computer. Oh, okay. So ask to unmute.
How about now?
Are you there? You guys can hear him, but I can't.
We can hear you.
Oh, maybe it's my new microphone. Let me take this. Okay.
How about now?
I can hear you now.
Hey. Some microphones need headphones, I think.
I know. I got it. Oh, welcome, Isaac and Torald. And we are so happy to have you. We were just about to start the actual tea ceremony. And so I'm going to have you bring your cups to your chest. And then as we do this, then we will have fun with you guys. Okay, everybody bring your cup to your chest. And you're going to take 3 breaths into your heart and expand the green energy of your heart into your cup. 1 breath. And as you expand, inhale into your heart energy, you can also bring it all the way down to the root chakra, but into your heart, envision that green energy going into your cup, that nourishing emerald energy, and exhale. And as you take your second heart breath, breathe into the heart, fill your cup, fill the room around you, fill the house or apartment, fill the space around you all the way with that green, beautiful, synergistic energy, and exhale. And as you take your third heart breath, fill your cup, the room, the apartment, house, neighborhood. See if you can reach the moon. See if you can fill the space between you and the moon with your beautiful green heart energy. the energy that heals, the energy that synthesizes, the energy that brings the true intelligence. And exhale. And now as we center into our senses, we center into our bodies. We ask ourselves, what do I hear? And understand the difference between hearing and listening. Listening is active. Listen for and hear and dance between the two. And then ask yourself, what do I feel? And feel sensation, not emotion. What do I feel? Cold, hot, achy, not achy, warm, easy, whatever it is, what do I feel? A little tension, a little loose, whatever it is, feel sensation, center into the body. And now ask yourself, what do I see? What do I see? You can look around the room. You can look in your cup. You can look in a mirror. This is like the classic scrying cup where we can see the future and the present moment all at once in your cup of tea. And then ask yourself, what do I smell? And learn to really, really smell the nuance of the tea you're sipping. Vanilla, the ginger, the lemongrass, the green tea leaves, the soothing marshmallow root, honey. And then as you bring the cup to your mouth, you ground all of your senses into the body, bring them home and taste. What do I taste? And taste on the front of the tongue, the sides of the tongue, the back of the tongue, the top of the mouth. Even your teeth can taste. What do I taste? Awesome. And now that we're centered in our bodies, welcome Isaac and Toril to Mystic Monday. We're so happy you're our host for this month's box, and I want to just really dig in today and hear your voices and what you have to say. And I'd love if we could do a little practice with our awesome circle tonight.
Thank you, Zhena.
Thank you so much for having us. And what a beautiful little beginning. And it was just so much synergy between how you began and how we'd like to continue this moment with you today, which is one of tuning into the experience that is already here. If you just allow yourself to partake, to switch on, and to use that incredible interface, which we call the whole body instrument, to trust in just allowing yourself to tune into what you're already experiencing. So much of what we'll do in this little moment with you is about trusting again and finding curious and fascinating your own voice. You know? So what a beautiful beginning. So thank you for that. And this tea is magnificent.
I loved what you said about the distinction between the active listening and the deeper hearing, the generous listening. So we'd love to kind of invite us all into that space of listening generously. You know, around the voice, it's so easy to fall into the judgment. It's hard to hear ourselves sometimes or often. And so to be really generous, to be really sweet to ourselves, you know, to open ourselves up like this tea is doing, and become receptive. So we'd love to invite us all into that space. And we'd also love to sing a song in honor of International Women's Day. This feels like a beautiful moment. So
why don't we do a little transmission around just the invitation home into this beautiful whole body instrument that each of us have, and everyone present in this experience together, you know, drinking tea and being with each other, to continue that. And then we can listen and experience song from that place. Should we jump in and just...
Yeah, I want to just ask you a couple questions just to create the framework for those. We have several who are new tonight, and this will be watched for, you know, a lot of people will be hearing about you for the first time. So one thing that you guys said as recording artists, something struck me when we were filming your video, your teaching for this month's box, and it was that you were on stage with Coldplay and with these bigger acts, and you felt that people were projecting their own greatness and their own ability to sing onto you, making it about you. And you guys said something around that. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about that, because I felt that it was not only so brave and beautiful to have that insight and so self-aware, but also it really tunes us to your mission and into the work you do and what you do.
You start and I'll plug in.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think that we all project, there's no, it's a human thing. And sometimes we project what we want, and sometimes we project, our shadows, and it's all this beautiful dance. But we did feel that there was this inner calling in us we were always, or somehow became, very fascinated in everyone that was coming to see the music. So it came naturally for us to be doing this work. But when people would come and see our shows, we would love to turn the microphone around and hear their story. And
I've seen you do that every time you guys play. You always make everyone else sing.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about us. Perhaps it's the the brother connection has taught us the art of collaboration, and this world kind of likes to honorate the lone wolf. So this possibility of something greater than the sum of the parts. And so when we apply that to this ceremony, there's something greater than just the three of us happening here. There's a gathering, there's an intention that we're all setting by doing this together.
And the voice and the throat chakra, I've had so many issues with mine. I've had a throat tumor. I suffered a lot from a lot of throat issues growing up, and that speaking of the truth. And, I know we have our songwriter's journey class tomorrow night, and then my ears are turning hot just thinking about it. I don't know what it is. It's like the biggest fear of my life. But can you talk a little bit about the energy of the voice and the throat chakra as we're really digging deep into these chakras for our group?
Absolutely. Well, our work found us a number of years ago. We've both been fascinated by music and the voice, both as mentors and coaches in some capacity since we began as late teenagers in New York City. And I would say our whole career, we didn't know how to ask of it, but we were constantly wanting people listening to our music to sing with us. So we were always kind of reaching out to connect, to break the wall between artist and audience. As over the last 6 years, when we created the songwriter's journey, it was so quick for us to see that universal, no matter how much experience you've had as a singer, whether it's just something that you put on the shelf, maybe you were in choir in high school and maybe you got inhibited. Maybe someone said, go get a real job, don't pursue that. Or these different little, woundings, if you will, or little traumas that we gather around the voice so easily that the chakra itself around the throat, the thyroid, and just our overall human expression is so easily affected by what others said or didn't say, or what we made it mean about us. And so what we've found over thousands of voices now in the last 6 years, that whether or not someone has an experienced voice or they've been up to music or it's the first time, that these inhibitions around the throat chakra are quick and easily gathered. And that what makes us ultimately human is that we all have these little inhibitions around this area of the body to face. Second to that, and then I'll pass it to Isaac, what we've found is the solution forward outside of this a beautiful tea and in the honoring of the throat chakra, that so much of the breakthrough comes when we accept ourselves. And it's very little to do with fixing, clearing, or trying to work on or make better that area of the body. It's much more about the embrace. It's much more about self-fascination, acceptance.
Let it be.
Exactly.
Let it be.
And by reintroducing yourself to this area of the body, your own biology just wants it to flow again. Like by just naturally, it wants to be back in alignment. So like what you're going through now, Zhena, with us in the songwriter's journey, that part of you wants to integrate, that part of you wants to be celebrated again and told ultimately, not only am I okay, but by God, I have a voice to share, and it might have a melody.
And we gather memories and emotions around, just specifically around the voice. And so it's interesting to note, like, what wants to be spoken, what shadows want to be given light, that directly relate to this area of your, interaction with the world. And, what, if you've got one song in you, what wants to be sung first? What story needs to be told? What is it that wants to be said? And it could be, part of a heroic journey, or it could be post-heroic. It could be, what's there when there's nothing to prove. What's the message that the soul is getting? For people that have done a lot of the shadow work before, there's this space that we find, that we call the clearing, or Heidegger called the clearing, and we love using that word. But like, it's this space where, okay, now what's possible? Now we have the elixir, speaking of the elixir, what's possible?
Just listening to you, Isaac, you guys are like, my throat feels tension. I don't know if anybody else, but it's just the thought of singing in public, or having some people, it comes so naturally. And so what do you, when you think of the throat, and women, I mean, we have so many neck issues, and I think it's a third or more of us have thyroid issues, and speaking up, like, we were told we were too loud, or we were too much, or don't say that, or there's all this stuff that comes up. So,
oh my gosh.
So is there something you see that is as almost a consistency with people that stops them from going from here to here, with total freedom, like an instrument? Is there like a couple things that you've seen that stop that?
Well, yeah, I mean, we call them the small voices, and we've found over the hundreds of journeys is that there's about 5 of them that keep coming up, and they're like a choir, and we all have them. And we definitely have worked with a lot of women and see it. But I'm not enough. My voice is not good enough. Comparison, right? And so the way we, obviously, like Torald said, we don't offer a fix to this. We invite people to let it be.
And let's share that transmission. What are the other 4 small voices? We'll tell you them first.
Right.
And I'm too much. That's another one.
Yeah.
Which is not, which is one that, like, you wouldn't think would be prevalent in America, but it really is. It's very colonial. Like, don't think you're good, don't stick out from the crowd. Yeah. But we find it show up a lot. A lot of people went to be all of themselves when they were young, and maybe they made others jealous, their mother's jealous, their sister, their brother, that they often dim down, and then in their later life, move to rebel. That's one. It's not perfect. That's a big one that's showing up. Hey, I've never really, I haven't sung since college, and I'm scared to sing in front of others. Maybe it's not perfect. So maybe I'll just leave that to the professionals. That comes up.
And that often comes up, right at the end, or right while you're happening, it gets in the way of you having an experience sometimes of like, you're trying to have this experience, and then it's not perfect, but
I'm not safe.
It's the big one.
Is a big one. And, this affects so many of us. Many of us were felt unsafe at different times in our life, and the voice, maybe it was when we went to speak up, or when we were being all of ourselves in our expression, that something occurred that was traumatic. And so we don't even realize that biologically we're starting to, before we share who we are, say, how should I say this? How should I put this? Let alone, how should I sing this? That would be safe. So safety certainly comes up.
Yeah. And, for women in particular, that, they feel like, we've experienced that there's, voice leads to more, it's dangerous to use your voice, is the kind of the thought that ends up being created. And
we end up apologizing so much that I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I noticed, or the putting ourselves down and first there was the word, right? And so what we speak becomes our reality and what we sing, becomes our harmony and our,
Beautiful.
it's how we vibrate into the world. And it's interesting because the top, the crown chakra, the sixth chakra, insight, the heart chakra, all of these they're silent. This is the only one that has sound to it.
Yeah.
And so I really feel that that's also, it's like a declaration into the world. And that makes us feel a little like, oh my God, like, am I going to actually say that? Or did I say the wrong thing? Or should I have not said that? There's a lot of that around it. And we think about that. So,
And it's also like a megaphone to all of the, because there's a resonance to all of these energy centers and organs and bone and cartilage. There's a vibration, and the throat, or this kind of area, is pushing air through the lungs and creating this engine, which is basically a loudspeaker to your vibration. And so the medicine, or the way of being that we invite people into being around these small voices that may not ever leave. There's a few ways of being that we find kind of are the salve or the medicine or the way through it.
And it's so simple, by the way. And it's maybe not what we each want to hear, but it's what we each are then liberated in, which is, can we first, as we experience these automatic, we define small voice as any automatic negative leaning, thought, trigger, feeling, sensation, emotion. I loved how you touched on sensation, because, people talk about mental health, but, emotional health is often sensation based, and it's triggered in our biology, our mind body. And so anything automatic negative leaning that moves to inhibit or warn us to not necessarily be all of ourselves. So can we first step would be to name it, to see it for what it is, firstly, and then second, to name it the small voice it is. Oh, that's my I'm not safe voice, right? So to actually tune in to the experience and say, there's a small voice and this happens to be that part of me. Maybe it was when I was 12. And this last step is, can we bring it under our wing? Can we say, even though I have this small voice going on, I'm going to sing out what I was about to. I'm going to share what I was about to share. I'm going to trust my first creative impulse. I'm going to say, pick me. I'm going to sing a melody. Pick me. I have an idea to share at this meeting. Can we essentially do it anyway? And in the doingness, something miraculous always occurs. And a big breakdown that I feel like we accidentally have taught each other around the voice is that if we feel nervous and maybe tight in the throat, that it's time to not share until we feel better. What we've discovered the opposite. No matter how you feel, can you allow it to come forth as best you can in that moment? Because that's actually real-time teaching the biology that you are okay now. That and that not only teaches your biology, but teaches specifically the thyroid and the throat chakra. Now
I just completely relaxed.
Yeah. It's okay now. And every experience you gather, Zhena, and everyone here, every experience you gather, your biology and your, this physiology relaxes. And so what ultimately occurs is, as you embrace, the tightness starts to dissipate. And it was nothing you did to fix or clear. It was what you did to integrate.
I love that. We don't have to fix it. We just have to accept it and keep expressing it.
Yeah. Moving the energy.
I love that.
We have a few ways of being that we want, that we find help, create the conditions for more peace and more freedom in the voice, because it does take courage and it does take clarity and discernment. And we find a few distinctions, like to be willing rather than willful, willing to try something rather than kind of push through and get it done. Just be kind of willing to flow with it. Willing to have an experience rather than a performance. So if you're using your voice, can you, like you were inviting us to in the beginning, can we taste, feel, sense our voice?
Mm.
You know, can we feel its resonance in our chest rather than, you know, analyze it in our mind? And like you were pointing out to, generous listening rather than judgmental, you know, self-judgment. It's so difficult. And can we, if we make a distinction with our small voices, then we can often find which small voice is actually doing the listening. You know.
Oh, chills.
You know, and so who's doing the listening? Can our big voice be doing the listening? And because when it does, it's just unconditional love. And finally, you know, when the big voice is listening, only listens generously. You realize and you understand that you are incomparable, and you know, never will be again. And so we almost have this, you owe it to the world to share your voice, to be here, you know.
And your voice as it is too, you know, like I wish we were closer to the chat from where we're sitting. I know there's some beautiful things coming through.
Oh yeah, I'll get into that.
If there's any questions, we'd love questions.
Yes,
you know, one thing that collapses the not good enough, you know, is it okay to share, is just foregoing, like Isaac said, comparison to the voice you had or the voice that you thought pressure that you needed to have. And then to forego competition en route to actually something so much greater, which is discovering what's actually here. You know, this distinct whole body instrument that you've been gifted this lifetime that no one else has. And there's zero cliche to that. It's very real.
it's so true. It's so interesting. I consulted with a resonance company a few years ago on a book, and they said that they found in their technology that couples that make it long-term, like lifelong couples, their voices actually create a whole where whatever one of them's missing in their sound structure, the other one fills. And you guys are friends with my husband, Gerard. And when he first met me, he said it was my voice that made him know I was the one. And it was like a love at first sight. And we were at a Krishna Das concert, and Ram Dass was there. But it was one of these things where he said he saw me, but the minute I opened my voice, he knew. And so what you're saying is so lovely in that we resonate with those that are harmonizing with our own voice. I think that's a really beautiful thought.
I love that.
And if we keep it quiet, how will we ever know who resonates with us, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it goes down to the cellular level, really, you know, if you really open up that metaphor, you know, down to each cell in our body, you know, to the extent of which we start to explore again and ultimately give ourselves permission to, instead of looking externally about how our voice should be or fixing tightness, we go on an exploration to discover and uncover what might be here that wants to be heard and felt. And ultimately, can each of you on this call that this is resonating with, can you gift yourself the curiosity and support to go, I wonder what might come out of me if I held myself and gave myself the opportunity to explore melody and explore sound and explore opening through my own instrument.
Beautiful. Well, do you guys want to sing, or do you want to teach them something, or what do you want to do? I'm putting in your hands. Whatever you want to do, I'm game.
Can we do a little transmission first?
Let's do a little transmission, and then we'll sing.
Yeah.
Sing for our supper.
Yeah.
Sing for our tea.
So just throwing in, we could end in this. We've been creating this new collaboration with a woman named Eileen Day McCusick, who's an expert in biofield tuning. And we've created this new work called Sing the Body Electric. And I want to arrive at the sound of the thyroid and the front of the throat. We'll probably play in that
do the
sound.
whole.
Or maybe just we hone in on the throat, depending on how long we have.
Okay.
However long you need.
Okay, fantastic. So wherever you are, the most important thing is, like Zhena has already invited you into, to invite yourself home in this moment, and specifically home in this whole body instrument, this this incredible home you've been gifted. And can you allow yourself to relax back within its container? And then as you allow yourself to just begin to experience it, bring back online that taste, that touch, that sense, whatever is finding you, allow yourself to experience it. And as you're doing that, please also invite any automatic thought, feeling, sensation, emotion to be in the peripheral. There's nothing we need to leave out, that it's all welcome, even if it's part of that survival small voice system. And as you allow yourself to relax back into it, what does it feel like to inhale? And instead of asking yourself, what does it sound like? What does it feel like? And just as equally, what does it feel like to exhale out of your mouth? And instead of what does that sound like or look like, what does that exhale taste like? What does that exhale feel like percolating out of your mouth? What is the experience of exhale? And go ahead and add volume to it and become curious and interested in the experience of exhale for yourself. Like you're a tea kettle. Experience that steam, that exhale. In fact, we want you to fall in love more with the exhale than the inhale. In fact, instead, just inhale to get back toward that exhale experience. And on the winds of that exhale, allow any emotion, any sensation, anything that needs expressing to take flight on the winds of that exhale. And right here, whenever you're ready, what does it feel like to just allow any note to come out? Just allowing the experience of to come out of your mouth. And as you allow to come past your lips, again, invite yourself to experience what it tastes like, what it feels like you did the tea. What's it feel like to let yourself experience and express and just giving yourself full permission to experience it like it's the first time ever. And we'll just continue seamlessly into the human scale with you all. This body of work we've created very recently, so it's really fun to share it with you. It's 12 chromatic steps that sound or give tone to the whole anatomy of the human instrument. And we're going to start in the electromagnetic field and the seed sound, or the tone we want you to express.
Tone is I.
I. Any note, feel free to sing any note you wish. We're going to sing it one time. Inhale. In fact, let's do that another time. Feel free to make it pulse like Isaac's pulsing it.
And sing it out into the space around you, like a toroidal shape around you.
Beautiful. The next chromatic step up is the backside of the pelvic floor, so the sphincter muscle, and the sound is ga. Just singing into ga and from ga. Inhale. Ga. Beautiful. And again, ga, directing it into the back of your pelvic floor. Ga. into the front of your pelvic floor, the Kegel muscle, and it's more. Again,
Wow.
more.
Then we're going to do the root chakra, which is, we're going to go back down to the root chakra, which is wah, one of the first sounds we ever made. Ready? Wah.
And again, wah. Now coming back up to the kidneys or the back of the stomach, and the sound here is mo. And one more time, mo. Bringing it into the front of the belly, the courage, the confidence at the front of the belly. And this is you.
The connection to your umbilical and mother.
And again, you, pushing into the belly. So great. The back of the heart, the rear of the heart is Ra. And one
Feel
more
the
time.
disruption of the R sound and allow some pain to be felt if it does come up.
Nice.
And then bring it into the front of the heart, into the openness of the heart. Ya. Feel the softening, the vulnerable side. One more time.
So this brings us to our focus today. It's going to actually be the rear first of the thyroid, or the rear of this throat chakra, the thyroid gland itself. And we want you to kind of come around the thyroid gland itself and really just massage and love it and squeeze it internally with this sound. And it's going to be the sound bo. This is your chance to send love and nurture here, even if it feels tight. This is your chance to really celebrate it with resonance.
And don't be surprised if you have a laughing fit with this one.
Yeah, people cackle sometimes at this one. And let's go a few times here. time. We're going to bring it to the front now. To ha.
Front is ha.
To let it release now.
And give it all the energy that wants to come out. Let it come out. Let all of that tension just flow out like a river.
One more time. One more time. Fantastic. Now, whatever you experienced, we urge you to embrace it, to be okay with it, to let it teach you that there's more to experience. And we're going to move into now, right into the pituitary gland is next. And we want you to move it freely around your head.
Mic is low. I saw.
Oh, okay.
It just went down a little.
Okay.
I think
Thank
sometimes when we create dissonance,
We
it
create-
freaks Zoom out.
you. We'll keep an eye on the mic.
Thank you, whoever that was.
Oh yeah, I turned you way up.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And so now we're just going to move it around into our third eye and around. It's going to be air.
Spin it round like a lighthouse
Beautiful.
of sound or a pulsar star. Try it again.
One more time. Air. Now moving up to the crown, we're going to go to E. One more time. E. Full circle. We're going to go to I again. So this time, singing into your electromagnetic field. How does it feel different this time? I. Here we go. One more time, I. And there we go. That's the human scale in action. Now we touched on the throat chakra, yeah, there you have it. How is that, Zhena?
I feel high. It's so interesting. I could feel it in all the parts of my body where the sound and the word was coming through. Like I could feel it in the back of my heart, especially the whole reverberation. Sorry, my leg. And then the throat, and then especially here, it was like bam, like
Wow.
Yeah.
so. I
You got
love
the
that.
lighthouse effect. Great.
And we
Yeah.
can see through the chat, there's plenty of people that had an experience. Yes, please share your experience of your transmission.
All right, my dears, are you now going to sing for us?
Yes, we would love to. And, part of the throat we find, and, I'm excited to hear what story you tell, Zhena, for this first song that we're writing together. But part of the throat chakra is what can you say next that is unspeakable? How can you sing the unspeakable to free you from even that? And this song, we did not write it, but we truly feel it, and we know it. And it's a song by Kate Bush called "This Woman's Work" in honor of International Women's Day. And we want to honor Ashley, Harold's partner, for the unspeakable, act of love and compassion that she endured when they, gave birth to their son Jack Mutsuru McCrae Corin with critical birth injury, and he lived a blessed 18 months, right?
14 months.
14 months, sorry. And that's what this song, we found out later after recording it, is about this woman giving birth to a baby in a similar situation to our little Jack. And so we want to honor all the women that have endured the unthinkable, the unspeakable. And this song is for all of you. Is this mic okay now?
Can you hear us okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're a little loud. You might want to, if you're going to belt it out, which I've heard the song before, well,
Okay.
I think that'll be good. If you can hear us now, I think it'll be good.
it's perfect.
Pray God you can cope. I stand outside this woman's work, this woman's world. It's hard on the man. Now his party is over. Now starts the craft of the Father. I know I got a little life in you yet. I know you got a lot of strength left. I know you got a little life in you yet. I know you got a lot of strength left. I should be crying, but I just can't let it show. I should be hoping, but I can't stop thinking of all the things I should have said, though I never said. All the things I should have done, though we never did. All the things I should have given, but I didn't. Oh, make it go. Make it go away. Give me these moments back. Give them back to me. Give me these moments back. Give them
Guys, you make me cry every time.
Oh.
Oh, so beautiful. And I give Ashley and you, Toral, so much love and everything you're going through too, Isaac, with Sophie on your conception journey and all the love that you guys share for everyone. You're just such a gift to all of our lives, and we're so grateful for you. So today is my mom's birthday, so I want to send love to Pam Musica, who works really hard to
keep us all nourished and loved, and to my daughter Mia, and to your beautiful daughter. I saw she got her hair cut today. Or yesterday.
Yes.
What's
Oh,
your mother's name again?
Yeah. What's your mother?
Pamela Musica.
Ready?
Is she here?
She will probably watch this
Wait,
later.
Pamela, come on,
Okay,
we're
let's
gonna
do-
sing.
let's see.
Sing happy birthday, Pamela.
All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pamela. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you guys. I love you. And to all of you, thank you for joining us tonight. We love you. We'll see you next Monday. And wow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you.
And we wish we
Okay.
could have read all of these comments. So lovely to meet
We
you.
will save all of them. We'll send them to you. We love everyone who joins the circle. Thanks again. And we will definitely have you guys back.
Wow.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.